what's going to happen when change becomes almost infinite? Everything that can change will change. That means the politics, the economics, the technology. We've already seen the proof that the technology is changing faster and faster. The scientists have a very narrow point of view. They think, oh, we're driving the change. But no, they're the effect of the change, the effect of the time, just like everybody else. The Vedic civilization had a continuity of over 4 million years. So during that time, they built up very impressive technology. That whole technology was finished in one night. So there was nothing wrong with their knowledge. It was just that everything changed. Even the laws of nature. So that technology didn't work anymore. It's just like, let's say, the laws of electricity changed. We wake up in the morning and nothing works. Computers, cameras, cars, cell phones, even the toaster, nothing works. Can you imagine what would happen to our civilization? It would be finished. There would be chaos. The population would be reduced by 95%. Just from that one thing alone. Because to change back to horse and cart technology would be an incredible strain on it and the whole civilization. So imagine the Vedic civilization had a technology even more advanced, and it had been in place and operating for millions of years, and then in one night the whole thing's finished. Because the laws of nature change. All of a sudden, that technology didn't work anymore. So their civilization crashed. Now, the Vedic spiritual knowledge is still valid because that never changes. But as far as the material knowledge, the technology part doesn't work anymore. That's the nature of the material world. Everything changes. If it changes slow or it changes fast, it's still the same. It all changes. When things change too fast for us to keep up, then all our plans are ruined. That's why the Mayan calendar and the Vedic calendar, they all go in big, big cycles. Actually, Kali means one, Dwapara means two, Treta means three, Satya means four. So 1 times the yuga is Kali, the duration of Kali Yuga. 2 times the same is the duration of Dwapara, and so on. These are cycles. And this complete period is called a Mahayuga. So 1 Mahayuga is what, about 5 million years? But there are even bigger cycles. 71 Mahayugas are 1 Divya Yuga. 10 Divya Yugas are one day of Brahma. And his night is also the same. And Brahma lives for 100 years. So the universe goes through all these different cycles. Just like waves in the ocean. If you go to the ocean, you see there are little bubbles on the waves. And then another wave will come and scatter them all over the place. And then the bubbles try to get back together, and then the next wave comes and smashes them again. That's life in the material world. This is the law of God. It's supposed to be that way. Because if things went too smooth, we would become complacent and we would forget God. Oh, we don't need God. Everything here is so nice. It's going so smoothly. We don't need to make a big effort to find God. So God makes these changes happen by time to wake us up that this material world is not our real home. We need to go back to the spiritual world if we want real happiness. See, now, ignorant people who have no spiritual knowledge, they somehow rationalize this. Oh, we're here for experience, to gain knowledge. Well, but the ultimate knowledge is everything changes. Where is the body that I had when I was 3 years old? Where's the body that I had when I was 14 years old? Even the body that I had when I was 30 years old. It's gone. It's like it never existed. The past is, you can never get it back. And the future is not here yet. So in the material world, everything's changing. Just a question of when and how much. Some things change slowly, some things change quickly. But wherever we look, we see the same cycles of change. If you look at the bacteria in the microscope, and they're all fighting over food and territory, and the same thing's going on, just on a smaller scale. And if you look at the galaxies, sometimes the galaxies collide and they fight, and they tear off each other's stars and take them away. Material world is always going to change and disappoint us. It's always going to ruin our plans. So the intelligent person concentrates his energy to find God, because that's the only stability, that's the only security, that's the only safety. We're here in the material world because we want to rebel against God. We want to enjoy, we want to control, we want to own things that actually belong to God. Like the example I made last night. If I create something, then I own the copyright. It's mine. I can do whatever I want. So God owns this world. But we don't treat the world like it belongs to God. We try to enjoy it ourselves. We say, this is mine, that's mine. This even persons. Well, this is my kid, this is my lover or whatever. See? We don't consider that all of these things and people actually belong to God. So then when God comes along and says, no, I think I want this person over here, then we suffer. Because we're attached to something that's not ours. We can't control God. And we can't control what God wants to do with His property. But we find that as soon as we decide to serve God and treat everything as His property, then there's no more of that kind of suffering. Or more than that, transferring our attachment from material to spiritual. Then our relationship with God is never interrupted. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate